I'm Miranda Keys. I'm a Toronto food stylist, and I've been given a dream assignment. Hit the road for Food and Drink magazine to discover what Ontario farmers, artisans, growers, and food and drink producers are doing outside of the city of Toronto. Today, I'm with world-class mixologist and bartender Chantel Gabino.
I compete in cocktail competitions around the world. I got to represent Canada against 55 other countries from around the globe.
I love that you are representing Canada and you are a woman leading in this industry. It's pretty fantastic.
I'm pretty happy and proud to be a woman myself, yeah.
Drive just 90 minutes southwest of Toronto and take any of the exits off Highway 401 into Oxford County. Suddenly, you're in a rural paradise and the dairy capital of Canada.
I have never been to Oxford County. Have you?
I've never spent any time.
Okay, so this is great. So we're gonna go explore.
Our plan is to visit 5 stops, gather delicious food and drink ingredients, and then make a meal featuring 2 epic cheese and charcuterie boards. Our first stop is part of Oxford County's Cheese Trail, a group of over 20 cheese and dairy-related destinations in the area.
We're going to check out 2 different cheese places today. How do you feel about that?
Love cheese. I am the type of person to eat cheese before a meal and after the meal.
Why not? It can be your starter and the finisher for a meal.
We're meeting Afrin Pristine, co-owner of Toronto's Cheese Boutique, for some expert advice.
I think the flagship here at Gunn's Hill is the Five Brothers. Kind of Gouda style, a little bit of Swiss influence here, but made with Ontario milk, right? Like good quality Ontario milk.
I must ask one question.
Sure.
Is it Gouda or Gouda?
It's actually Gouda.
Gouda.
Yes.
Gouda.
It's almost with an H.
You gotta know.
Gouda.
Okay, one thing I have to say, it looks like it's Cheese Curd Friday, and they make all the cheese curd fresh today.
I know.
We could not have picked a better day to be here.
Do you want to try one?
Gunn's Hill owner Shep Eiselstein uses milk from his parents' dairy farm to make his cheese.
That's the squeakiest cheese curd I've ever had.
You'd walk across the field, that's where the farm is, and all the fields around here, that's part of my parents' farm too, and that's basically where all the milk is coming from. I have no ambitions to become a huge cheese factory or anything like that. Eventually you kind of lose who you are, so I really want to just use milk from our family's farm.
So how do you decide that you're going to create a new sort of expression or flavor of cheese? Because I've noticed that there's some, wine aged and beer aged.
Garlic.
Jalapeno, we tried garlic and chives. How do you decide that that's going to be the new direction you go for?
Sometimes it's just based on opportunities. So say a winery wants to do something, it's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, or a new brewery opens up in town, we're gonna soak our cheese in your beer. Sometimes it's a flavor that I'll run into somewhere else. I'm like, I really like that. And I tend to make what I like to eat. So step by step, new things kind of come on board.
Fantastic.
I love going into breweries with little knowledge because it really gives you a chance to be able to experience the brewer's story and the beer story with carte blanche.
Ontario has always loved its beer. Over the last 20 years, Ontario beer making has expanded to include over 200 local breweries.
Okay, so I'm obviously driving today, so you're gonna have to be the one tasting.
Totally okay with that.
Just describe it to me so I feel like I'm drinking it with you.
So starting on this end, the blonde ale is going to be on the lighter spectrum of the bitterness, which is nice. I'd find that when you're starting with pairing up with cheese, you want to go lighter beer with lighter, sort of softer cheeses.
Nice.
I'm going to start with this blonde ale here. And you know, just as I was expecting, very easy drinking, light citrus notes, not too much hoppiness or bitterness, very low on the bitter spectrum. I'm really interested in trying this dry hopped double pale ale. Delicious. I love IPAs. That's usually where I fall on the spectrum of beer because I do appreciate some bitterness for sure. And this is fantastic. So anything in terms of going for a more sharper cheese, this is gonna be fantastic. And then last but not least, the Raz.
The Raz.
Saison.
It's a great beer for summertime. Like you really get like the essence of everything that's grown in the area through like a saison.
We have some citrus notes in there, some fruitiness, a little bit of sweetness, but still very dry on the finish.
Yeah.
And a little hint of bitter to just clean it out at the end.
Now we gotta go get some more cheese. We're gonna check out Moutainoak.
There's good reason why Oxford County is the dairy capital of Canada. Not only is there an abundance of family dairy farms, its cheesemakers make award-winning cheese.
We're on a dairy farm, you know, when you see cows.
know.
To eat your fingers.
Hi.
I think they're salty. I love it. They're like scratchy tongues like cats. They're so cute.
Now we get to try some cheese.
I don't know if I can leave these cows though. They're too cute.
At Moutainoak, cheese making runs in the family.
Hello.
Hello, how can I help you?
Well, we heard you make some great Gouda here.
Yes, that's what I hear all the time. So I'm more than happy to sample you some of our flavors.
We'd love to.
I have a cumin here, a medium, an aged, what is almost 1 year old, and a fenugreek. And we make this cheese from our milk from our own cows here.
I'm gonna try the aged.
How do you like that one?
Amazing. Really complex flavors. You know, there's a richness and sharpness to it. A little bit of the saltiness and calcium deposits from the age. And
yeah, and it is an older, it's 1 year old.
I'd love to try the wild nettle cheese. I'm very interested and I've never tried anything like that before.
Well, if you want to meet my husband Adam, he makes all the cheese here. He will cut you some cheese from the wild nettles.
Fantastic.
I'd
We'd
love
love
that.
to.
It is a blood cleaning herb with green particles in it. You can see this cheese is way softer because as if it goes through the butter. This cheese is around 2 months old.
Yeah. Quite earthy from the nettle.
This flavor is so interesting on the finish. You get this creaminess and then at the end there's almost like this bright, slightly sour kind of herbaceousness on the end.
It's delicious.
For this stop, we're going to visit 2 farms right next door to each other. First up, Perry's Corners Farm Store for some organic produce, pork, and eggs.
Hey!
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you? We just saw your pigs on the way in.
Oh yes, they're eating some apples out front.
They look pretty happy over there.
And do you grow everything here as
I do.
well?
I have a garden out back and I raise cows, sheep, pigs, and chickens. I went to school to be a librarian.
Oh, no
but
way.
when I was kind of figuring out what to eat and realized how important farming is and what it can do for the environment. I decided I wanted to be a farmer.
And you also have stuff inside your farm
I do.
store?
The eggs and meat are all inside.
Oh, we should get some for our charcuterie
Can we
board.
check it out?
Come on in.
Awesome.
Everything here at Perry's Corners Farm is so fresh, it is incredible.
Oh my God!
You stole my beating heart.
Hi!
Here, sweeties.
Come here, piggies. Oh, they love apples. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh my goodness, this smells amazing.
It's just a short walk to get to Nith Valley Organics next door.
We're doing our charcuterie board for our dinner. We're doing like a savory and a sweet one.
Oh, fantastic.
So I don't know if you guys could suggest some things we might add to it.
Well, we have peppers right here.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Can we pick some?
Yeah.
Great.
They have some of the flavor complexity of the hot pepper without any of the heat.
I feel like this pepper would be really fantastic with some of the cheese that tends to be a little bit sharper.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
That way we can, essentially complement some of those flavors. I've never seen these purple tomatoes.
Already at the green stage, anywhere that the sun hits the tomato, it turns this dark purple, almost black color.
Yeah.
As the tomato ripens, the other side of it gets a hint of a rosy blush. Yeah, so this would be a ripe one. It has that little flush of orangey red color, and this side stays purple.
Can we pick some for our charcuterie
Yeah,
board?
certainly.
A little snack and go.
Before we leave, there's a fun little spot on the farm that we need to check out.
There's nothing like feeling like a kid again.
Oh my God, seriously? Oh, so good.
It's time for our last stop, and collecting all of this food and drink has given us an epic appetite. Willibald Farm Distillery has exactly what we need to end our amazing day. Co-founder Cam Formica and his partners started Willibald with the goal of creating spirits that are outside of the box. Their signature pink gin gets its color from being aged in red wine casks from Niagara and is sweetened with honey they gather on their farm.
Willibald is a first-generation farm distillery focusing on progressive grain-to-glass spirits. We have 60 farmable acres that we plan to use for whiskey production long-term. We have a distillery on site. We have a farm-to-table restaurant. In addition to that, we're also looking to add a brewery as well. So for my cocktail tonight, I'm making a Willibald Pink Gin Spritz, which consists of our Willibald Pink Gin, Lillet Blanc, topped with a little bit of soda water and crushed pink peppercorn. So tonight, Chef Byron Hallett and the rest of the Willibald kitchen staff are making some pork sausage, fresh garden salad with some radishes, carrots from the garden, and wild edible flowers, oven roasted potatoes in our wood oven, and corn on the cob.
For the sweet cheese board, we have this really beautiful brie from Gunn's Hill and some fresh strawberries from Nith Valley Organics. And we've got some really beautiful fresh honey from here at the Willibald Farm. And I'm gonna make a riff on a Martinez. And since this beautiful farm has a really wonderful apiary, I'm gonna bring some of that honey into this drink. Equal parts with sweet vermouth, Willibald gin, a dash of aromatic bitters, and essentially top it off with some ice and make it really nice and cold. Garnish with a tiny twist of orange oil, and I like some aromatics for rosemary, and because it is fall, add that to the garnish. I want to call this the Willibald Martinez.
I'm gonna focus on doing the savory charcuterie board. I'm gonna use some of that beautiful summer sausage that we picked up from Perry's Corner Farm today.
Okay, so first of all, that summer sausage is phenomenal.
That is so good.
I'm also gonna use some of the cherry tomatoes and other vegetables we picked up today from Nith Valley Organic Farms. This dinner tonight is going to be fantastic. It looks so beautiful here outside of Willibald. We have all this amazing food and people to share it with.
The dinner at Willibald is absolutely special because I think we really get to see just exactly what farm to table looks like in the span of 5 stops. And being able to witness that with everyone just as the seasons get to change is something that's super special. It's the last cling of the summertime fling.
Before coming to Oxford County, I really didn't know what to expect. It is a really fantastic place with amazing producers, fantastic cheesemakers. It's been fantastic.
I had an amazing time in Oxford County, and I'm definitely certain I will be back to hit up that cheese trail one more time.
Great day.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'm Devin Rajkumar, and next week on 5 Stops, we hit the hammer. Chef Trevor Louie and I search the streets of Hamilton, Ontario for the best food and drink in town.